The mother of all Smash leaks has made a mess of the internet. Lately, the past couple of days have been crazy with Team Real versus Team Fake taking things quite far. And we have some new updated information as well as just what's going on with this leak and leaks in general and the Smash community. So, Gabe, I want to start off by giving an update. Initially, we had both thought that this was pretty real, and we're referencing the full roster leak that included 7 new characters. You can see the list, you know they are. It was Shadow, Ken, Geno, Chorus Kids, Banjo-Kazooie, Mach Rider, and my main man, Isaac. And it was pretty legitimate. It came from a man who worked at a supposed marketing company, had worked with Bandai Namco, and we were thinking that this could be quite real and maybe even tie into DLC plans and just kind of be an epic way to unload the rest of the roster for Smash. But we're seeing updates now that the man who, we're going to still not really mention his name because he says that he's not even aware of this leak. And now there's debate if he even was the actual person posting this, or if it was an impersonator. Liam Robertson over on Twitter says that it wasn't even him, and now the company that he supposedly worked for, Marina Workshops, came out and said, like, hey, this guy doesn't work for us anymore. He left in November 2016, and we're not working on Smash Brothers, but apparently the guy works for a similar company close by, more of a marketing company, and maybe that's where the Grinch stuff ties in. It's kind of become a major mess, and it's looking like it's not real. There's some just some issues with like the Battlefield stage. People are finding more just things like incongruencies with the art. So it's looking Team Fake. But a couple points here, Gabe. One, the reaction, it's like way too intense.
Yeah, and it's a little bit funny because you and I are not all that intense about very many things. I know the Detroit Lions kind of take you in that direction. But besides that,
absolutely,
you and I are like pretty low-key about these things. And yeah, we're like super into video games and we're passionate about them. You know, we talk about them every single day of our lives. But
right.
To get like angry to the point where you just start being like nasty like on the internet. And, you know, part of me wants to say like it's the internet. People are going to be nasty. Like it's just part of what comes with it. But it seems like the Smash community specifically has some like level of toxicity, and the dog agrees with me, that like I haven't like really seen before.
Yeah, the dog is emblematic of some of the response, and Nintendo has a very passionate fan base. We've known this since I got my first system. I think there's just like a nostalgia, a camaraderie, a just, I would say, an enthusiasm that is almost impossible to contain. But sometimes, like in this case, it can get way too overboard. And we're seeing people just harassing each other, and like just wanted to point out that it's just totally uncalled for. At the end of the day, this is fun and games. It's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which should be the best Smash Bros. Ever, and it should be fun regardless of who's on the roster, regardless if it's Team Real or Team Fake. Please treat each other with kindness and sort of step back and realize there are far worse things going on in the world than whether or not we're going to get Banjo and Chorus Kids in Smash Brothers. So regardless of what happens with this leak, just be good to everyone out there, and don't. It's a bad look for the Nintendo community, which is a company that I think puts fun and just positivity at the forefront of almost everything they do. And it would be great, you know, if that could be reflected on these message boards and on the different threads. On top of that, how do you feel about these leaks? I know neither of us get super worked up, but it is interesting to me that some people, you know, don't want to see them. Some people really do want to know everything. I found myself kind of taking the other side earlier today. Normally I want to see all this stuff. Like I've looked at everything for Smash Brothers, but there was some leaks about upcoming Avengers and Marvel films, and I was like, oh god, like I don't want to ruin those. So typically I'm like anti-spoiler, but for some reason, like Smash Brothers is just something that it's just characters to me. So since it's not story based, I really wanted to see what could potentially be coming to the game.
Yeah, I think I'm one of the rare people that isn't affected in the slightest by spoilers, like at all. Mm-hmm. Like they don't bother me. Like if I'm like super excited for like a movie or something, I don't care if I know the ending. Like I'm still gonna like appreciate it and enjoy it for what it is. I think I dig a little bit deeper than that. So this me knowing some stuff beforehand doesn't take away the enjoyment at all. For me, as far as leaks go, I'm more fascinated with what they bring out of people. Not only like the meanness of it, because whatever, the internet, but the fact that, like, let's say I think this is real, right? Maybe I don't anymore, but let's say I did. And then, like, someone's like, "Oh, you said you thought it was real, haha!" Like the egg on your face mentality, like where you're less than for like hoping that it's real or thinking it's real or whatever. Like, that's fascinating to me. Like, I don't understand that whatsoever. So, to me, that's where I end up with these leaks. Like, I don't care. Like, if the next Zelda gets leaked and like major story stuff comes out, I know a lot of people maybe wouldn't want to see it, but I love Zelda so much that I want to see it. And then when I experience it myself, I'll still appreciate it just in a little bit of a different way. So, yeah, for me, leaks and stuff like this, they don't negatively impact me at all.
I'm so huge on keeping things sacred story-wise, like spoilers for movies, spoilers for games. Like, I hate it. It burns if I get something like spoiled in the comments or whatever. Like, I can't stand that. But I do think what you're saying of like people love it so much they want to know, and people love it so much they don't want to know, and people love it so much they want this person in, they love it so much they don't want that person in. That is where so much of this just chaos comes from. And it's great that there's such a passionate fan base, but I think across the board, it's impossible to please everyone, right? There's no way that this game is going to be perfect for everybody. So it's sort of like, okay, maybe we do as a Nintendo community need to sort of like chill on the leak thing. It doesn't plague any other company anywhere near as much. And again, I don't know if it's just because the nostalgia and the love is so strong with this one. But that part fascinates me, that we see so much of it with Nintendo, which a lot of people outside of the fan base might say is like, oh, a kiddie company, and they make real like cutesy games, yet it has some of the most hardcore fans everywhere. I guess like you, I wish people would just like kind of take it in stride. Either look at it, you don't have to go into this thread. You don't have, if it's something that bothers you, make up your mind, pick your opinion, and then let it go. Like, there's no, and I don't know, there's no need to create and participate in this. If the conversation is just like, hey, like, oh, this is cool, or oh, like I think here I found something, like, that's great. But when it gets to these like battles online, I don't know. I'm not trying to be like parent Zach here, but it's like, take a step back and, I don't know, go spend more time playing a Switch game.
Yeah, and
there's
then
there's a lot of good stuff to play.
If you're right and I'm wrong, like, so what? Like, what do you win, really? Like, okay, it wasn't real, so what? And we both thought it was real. Like, nothing changes. Like, okay, this one leak wasn't real. I just don't understand. Like, who cares, really? Well,
and it's interesting that negativity is what draws so much attention, and so these threads boil over because of negativity. If it was, I don't know. To me, it's like the controversy is just what draws people in, and they want to be combative, and that's not something that's really in my personality. I don't have that sort of aggressive energy, I guess you could say. But yeah, I just wish and I hope that people will be a little nicer. We are getting to the end of this Smash Bros. Ultimate run-up. It's been a fantastic hype cycle, but whatever happens, please be good to people. And like, if it bugs you, if you're feeling upset, like, take a step back, go do something else. Walk outside. Play Smash Brothers Melee or freaking 4, whatever you want to do.
Get off the internet.
Yeah, at least for a little bit. I also wanted to mention, like, okay, if we're going to say that this is team fake, which I think now you and I, like, are, because of just all the back and forth with the gentleman and his employer, and some people are saying, oh, the fact that they're denying it, maybe that adds legitimacy, and the Grinch materials still are new, and maybe he does have it, and just because Marina Workshops isn't in with Nintendo, maybe his new company is, but there's 2 LinkedIn profiles. It's so convoluted and crazy. I don't know, but
Zach, if someone impersonated this guy to do this, and like this poor guy is completely like innocent in all of this, like, he's just going to work and like he has no idea this is even happening because he's probably like a little bit older, I would imagine. So, God, like, whoever's impersonating him, like, that's a real messed up human being right there. Like, that's
if that's to be, which
if that's the case, again, yeah, we don't know,
right? But what I did want to point out and bring up is there is the possibility that even if this is fake, that some, if not many, of these characters are still in the game, and that's slightly awkward to me. I still think, we've heard other rumors about Banjo-Kazooie. Obviously, we have the Isaac stuff, so this specific leak might be completely fabricated, but there still could be complete legitimacy to these characters eventually being announced and revealed for the game, and I just wanted to get your take on that.
I don't think we get 7.
Even with DLC?
Oh, sure, maybe with DLC. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, before the game. Like, I don't...
Sure.
I don't... 7 seems like a lot.
Let's approach it this way. Which of these characters do you think will be in the game regardless of the true-false nature of this leak?
Ken is the only one I can say with some certain, like, any amount of confidence that I feel would be in there.
Yeah.
All the other ones I'm, like, very iffy about. Because Shadow's, like, in the game now, but he's not, his own character.
I mean, we have heard a Microsoft connection for a long time. Banjo-Kazooie to me, but I know that that's a lot of wishful thinking to say that one would happen. I think Isaac is close too, because what is with Sakurai's tease from Twitter? That just
see, but then if we're going to believe that, then so is Skull Kid.
But Skull Kid could be in the game as a boss, which is what people have said. So that could be completely correct.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I still think we get a percentage of this list. So if you're bummed that it's fake, I think there's still hope that at least some of it still comes true. It's just like a very interesting situation. And yeah, one of the ones where I think we really bought into it, and then a whole bunch more information comes out. And that's interesting as well, of like, okay, these things just come together from so many disparate places, and it was odd that we got an official response from Arena Workshops, but I think they felt like their company was being dragged through the dirt as like, oh gosh, someone from your place leaked this and ruined it for Nintendo, and they wanted to make sure they got out ahead of that and said like, whoa, like, this isn't us. And that's something that just rarely is an official response from anyone involved tied to a leak rumor. So that to me just made this one such a unique, and I don't know. It was going to be a monumental thing either way, and it sure is panning out that way.
Yeah, I can see why people are, upset about like these leaks, and I'm personally a little bit tired of leaks myself. It's not going to stop me from partaking. I still enjoy it, but yeah, I can see how people might be upset.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments down below how you feel. Not so much Team Fake, Team Real, but how do you feel about leaks in general? The community response, Nintendo Smash fandom sometimes being way overboard, and then maybe do you think some of these characters still could hit the game? I sure do, and we should hopefully know soon whether there's a direct or not. Something's going to come from Sakurai and Smash before launch. We got to know about Spirits Mode, and I'm sure there are at least some characters, even if it's just Ken, who Gabe, I think rightfully assesses will be in the game. Whew. Take a deep breath, step back, and let's not go too crazy. Let's instead save that energy and that time for the releases. We'll see you there. Until that time, everybody, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch and Smash Bros. Ultimate. You can follow us on Twitter and Discord. There's links in the description below. And until next time, have a fantastic day. Be good to each other. For myself and Gabe, Switch Force, out.